Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 78th ever Highlight Haven interview. My name's Matthew Heiserman, and today we are joined by four-star high school football recruit Kevin Caldwell Jr. Kevin, it's great to have you on.
It's great. It's great to be here. My fault. My fault.
Yeah, absolutely. And, right off the bat, I just want to start by asking when you first knew that you wanted to play football.
Uh, I started when I was 4, and ever since I touched the football, I love it.
Now, when you started playing organized football, was it flag football? Did you jump right into tackle football? What did that look like?
It was flag. I played flag for 1 year. Then the next year I skipped a year, and then I started playing tackle when I was 6.
Now, when you started playing football, were you always a safety or were you more of a utility guy playing all across the field?
Um, it was more of my main position used to be running back, but now it's safety because it's a lot of stuff that plays a part in that. But growing up, I was always a running back.
Now, would you say that your time as a running back has helped you in any way as a safety, kind of just understanding the other side of the ball and getting into the mind of a running back and the offense in general?
Yeah, it definitely helps me a lot knowing what other players on the offense want to do, knowing what the offense wants to do. So it really helps. It brings my game to another level.
Absolutely. And along with football, you also run track and play some basketball. Did you start those other two sports around the same time that you started playing football, or did you pick them up separately?
I picked up track and basketball when I was around 8 or 9. So
Yeah. Now, I want to talk about track a little bit. Recently, you ran a 10.95-second 100-meter dash, which is your current PR. How do you say that track has helped you on the football field as well, besides obviously just speed as the safety, which is the, obvious one?
um, I would really say track translates to me playing receiver and running back more because it it perfect not perfected, but it helped my running form, so I can run
Yeah.
faster. It elongated my stride, it just made the little small things better.
Yeah, 100%. And, getting into football is one of the top rated safeties in the class of 2027. What's one thing that you really take pride in when it comes to your play style?
My versatility, knowing that I can be used anywhere on the field.
And on January 22nd, 2024, you received your first Division One offer from the Yukon Huskies. Can you just break down what it felt like to receive that first D1 offer and, what was going through your mind during that moment?
A lot of joy and excitement when I first got it, but I had to calm down and realize that that's nothing really. That's not where I want to be at. I want to have 50 offers or 60 offers. I want to be the top dog and the best in my class. So after all the joy and excitement calmed down, I realized that I got to keep working.
Now, was that Yukon offer? That wasn't your first general offer, right? You received some other non D1 offers.
Now UConn was my first.
Mhm. Yeah. Now, as a sophomore, you've already received well over 20 Division One offers from schools such as Georgia, Miami, Tennessee, and Texas A&M. Can you just break down what the recruitment process has been like for you so far? I know it really picks up in your sophomore year, which you're currently in.
Um, it's been really fun, but really hectic at the same time. To be honest with you, just talking to many different coaches every day. Having to get pulled out of class every day is it's hectic, but it's all fun, and I know it comes with the game, so I love it.
Now, when you look at the schools you've been speaking to, are there any that you've been talking to the most or that have really stuck out to you so far?
Um, I would say some of the schools that I talk to the most are Georgia Tech. I talk to Tennessee a lot. Um, Vanderbilt, and I talk to Georgia uh, a good amount of times.
Now, you play football in Georgia? I know you mentioned Georgia, the college, and then also Georgia Tech. How much do you value distance from home, or is it more of just a situation where you want to put yourself in the best possible place for that development before you reach the next level?
Distance really, it doesn't play a part in it. It's just really I want to go somewhere where it best fits me.
And out of all the schools you've received offers from, are there any that you would like to try and visit that you haven't had the chance to visit already?
Tennessee definitely.
Mhm.
Uh, mm, I want to visit Nebraska, Wisconsin, Mississippi State.
Yeah, for sure. And on February 9th, you competed at the Under Armour Next Camp and won overall defensive back MVP. What was that opportunity like, especially seeing that, some of the hard work you've been putting in has been paying off?
Um, it was being at that camp. It was just it was a lot. Like knowing that I'm there with all the top guys in the state and from around the state. And going out there, being able to compete at the highest level and be seen as the best DB out there by many coaches. It felt great, and knowing that all the hard work that I put in leading up to that moment, it was just it's a blessing.
And the season's over. It's obviously in the spring. I know a lot of the spring practice and the spring game stuff is dying down at this point in the year. Now that you're in the off season, can you just break down what a typical day looks like for you in terms of practicing and training?
Uh, Spring ball just ended, so it was 2 days, weights in the morning, then practice in the evening. But now I'm just trying to recover. Work out probably twice a week till summer practices start. You know, like just little slight stuff like lifting weights, plyometrics.
Yeah, and you obviously attend Parkview High School in Lilburn, Georgia. Georgia is home to some of the most competitive high school football throughout the entire country. How does that tougher competition help you improve your game, and what are you able to learn from that tougher competition and kind of add it to your game or improve as a player yourself?
Um, I would say Georgia football is the best football in the nation. To be honest with you, so and I'm playing in the highest division, 6A.
Yeah.
So playing against some of the top guys every single week, it the saying iron sharpens iron. It's really that.
Yeah.
Like so, playing against those guys every week, it builds me as a player, and it's like it it helps me ready. It gets me ready for college really, because all the coaches are top level coaches. They know what they're
Yeah.
doing, and playing against top level coaches, it gets me ready for college really.
Now, is there a specific game? It could either be a whole team or a player that you would consider to be the toughest matchup you've ever had.
Um, Toughest matchup, I probably would say Brookwood, but that's only for one reason, and that's their running back. I
Mhm.
feel like that was our toughest matchup.
Yeah. Now, with just 2 years until college, what are some of the main things you're still working on improving before you reach that next level?
Um, Little technical things like coming out my break faster, my reaction time on my breaks, watching film more. Those are really the main things I'm trying to focus on before I get to college.
Yeah, for sure. And in terms of the mental side, um, are there any pregame superstitions or rituals that you have? Maybe a specific kind of music you like to listen to get yourself in the right mindset?
Uh, I like to I like to just sit in the dirt, lay up facing the sky, listen to my music. It got to be some chill music. It really
Mhm.
don't matter what music it is, but it just has to be some chill stuff, like some mellow music. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. And are there any safeties in the NFL that you try and take inspiration from or model your game after?
Um, Not the NFL particularly, but college Caleb Downs.
Mhm. Is there anything that you specifically like about his game?
His versatility it matches mine. He can do anything on the field, and he can play wherever he wants on the field. And I feel like I can do that too.
Now, when you're watching an NFL game, are you focused on the entire game, or are you typically just watching the safeties and what they do?
Typically I'm just watching my position, safeties, corners, nickels. Watch and see what they do, see their movement.
And what's one thing you don't think the average fan necessarily knows about the safety position?
Uh, you got to be the best athlete on the field to play safety.
Mhm. And what would you say are some of the main things that goes into it that people don't necessarily just see from a base level watching you on the field?
A lot of hard work, preparation. Uh, really, is it's the technical things in being a safety with that makes you good. Really, you gotta have the technical things down pat.
Now, you have 2 years remaining in high school, playing high school football. That said, are there any personal goals as well as team goals that you would like to achieve throughout those 2 years?
Uh, no personal goals, really, just win the state championship.
Mhm. Yeah, I love that. And I do have one final question to ask before we wrap things up. What's one random fun fact about yourself, just so the people watching can get to know you a little better at a personal level?
I love pasta,
Hmm. Any specific type?
chicken, chicken Alfredo. Yeah, chicken Alfredo.
Solid, solid. Um, but with that being said, I can't thank you enough for coming on. I really do appreciate it. Is there anything else you want to say to the people watching before we wrap things up?
Um, uh, watch Parkview football. Keep up with us. We're gonna shock the world this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, big thanks to Kevin Caldwell Jr. for being the 78th ever Highlight Haven interview. And as always, we will see you next time.